Welcome back to New York. Irv, what a tough duel down there in the Astrodome. Just what you'd expect. The Cowboy defense has been all over Moon, 7 sacks. They've intercepted him 3 times. And, I think the Cowboys were insulted by that. And watch Randy White get a little looping, jarring jolt into Moon. Ball comes free, and Moon says, I got it, and he does indeed. And Hugh Campbell says this could be a tough afternoon. Great move here by Dorsett.
Tony still has that ability to sprint outside. Everything was shut down inside. He scooted on his left end for a 30-yard gain. Still has that speed.
Those of you who are watching, here it was, the touchdown. Danny White, quick drop. Timmy Newsom's got him, and it is 7-0 at the half in that game. Another tough defensive battle. The Giants and the Eagles slugging it out, scoreless at the half. The Patriots and the Raiders are going back and forth. Both defenses have scored touchdowns in that game. Minnesota over Buffalo, it is 20-3. Bud Grant's Tommy Kramer has thrown 3 touchdown passes. Here is number 1. He'll get Leo Lewis a 10-yard scoring strike, slanting into the post on that one. And then it was the play of the game. Ferragamo is back to pass, under pressure. It's going to be intercepted. How big is Timmy Newton?
Timmy Newton is 6 feet tall and weighs a sleek 302 pounds.
Go get it, Timmy. He did on the ricochet. That set up still another touchdown. And Kramer goes to Ted Brown. This was 15 yards. And then Kramer also hit Anthony Carter a little bit later for 43 yards. They missed the extra point on that one, but they lead it 20-3. Green Bay without Lynn Dickey today, and the St. Louis Cardinals have added a field goal. It is 19-0. Randy Wright not the answer. Perhaps Jim Zorn will soon take over the Packers' quarterbacking chores. Kansas City all over Seattle. Driving rainstorm in Kansas City. It is 21-0 in that game. Detroit and Tampa Bay 10-6. They are at the half there. And 31 points for the Chicago Bears after the Redskins jumped ahead in this game, 10-0. Then Mike Ditka's Bears came right back. Willie Gault, the longest kickoff return in the history of the Bears, 99 yards. Watch number 5, Jeff Hayes. He was the kicker. Injured his thigh diving and tried to bring Gault down. In the very next series, with Hayes out, Joe Theismann volunteered. This is his first and probably his last punt in the National Football League. He shanked it 2 yards. Very next play, Jim McMahon is back. Dennis McKinnon gets open, and he's got him. And it was 14-10. And then it was time for a little razzle-dazzle. Here comes Peyton, but it's the throwback, and McMahon will get himself open. This is one of the best stats in the league. Walter Payton has completed 9 passes in his NFL career, 8 of them for touchdowns. And the NFL Today continues on CBS after these messages from your local stations. Well, welcome back to New York. And you know, this year during the preseason, the NFL experimented with the use of instant replay. It was a court of last resort in deciding close calls by officials. Next month, the league's competition committee will meet to decide whether or not to use this innovation in the playoffs. Now, our Tom Brookshire, who has never been shy about second-guessing officials, has his own strong view on this controversial subject, and you may be surprised to find out whose side he's on.
It's baseball does it, Edith. And the same goes for basketball and hockey. Why is the NFL debating the use of instant replays to possibly reverse officials' calls in the playoffs?
It can help us save one call that was a wrong call and in turn have an effect on the outcome of a ball game. I think it's worth it.
Instant replay is an attempt to settle doubts about possession, namely inbounds and out-of-bounds plays in games where a bad call could end the team's season early. Here's how it would work. 2 weeks ago, an official on the field ruled that the receiver did not catch this pass inbound. If instant replay had been in effect, another official upstairs would have the play rerun from different angles on the monitor. And if he felt the decision was wrong, he'd have the power to have the call reversed.
It's a technical advancement that I think is going to play a part in our football as the seasons develop.
I'll admit that sometimes they're found out of position and that officiating is an imprecise science. But relying on a machine to replace human judgment is troubling, because football is a game played by people and should be officiated by people.
I think that the officials on the field have to be in control of the game. I don't think you can have a big brother overseeing everything.
It seemed like the games where they did have the use of the instant replay, the officials were a little reluctant in calling something. If they saw it, they were waiting to kind of see what they'd say upstairs rather than going ahead and calling what they saw.
Our officials will not be lax at any time. That I know. I know these people extremely well. I know their feelings, their great depth of feeling toward football, how they love the game, and they're not going to relax.
Certainly, replays have improved football on television, but not everyone agrees that they would help the game.
It would hurt the young official that was coming in. I think it would, and also it might undermine the public.
It can only do one thing, and that's help.
You look at the film, and it's no way they can cover everything that happens out there.
I played a little over 7 years in the NFL and had about 20 interceptions. I always felt like I was entitled to a few more. But in those days, when we would argue with the men in the black and white shirts, the zebras, they would merely turn to us and say, "Hey, Brookie, the call stands." The problem with instant replay is that no matter how fast the replay judgment will be, no official on the field will be able to look you in the eye and safely say, "The call stands." I never thought I'd see the day when I'd be speaking out in favor of the NFL officials, but they say there's a time and place for everything. I think the place for the NFL officials is right out there on the playing field, not up in the stands or in the press box. So if it ever comes up, I hope the NFL votes no on instant replay. For the NFL Today, I'm Tom Brookshire.
Irv, do you agree with that?
No, I really don't, Ben. I think we've gotten to the point now where we're living in a highly technically advanced stage. Everybody's accustomed to seeing replays, and the technology is available. We should use it. It'll improve the game.
All right, let's send you back to the stadium now and the game you're enjoying on CBS.